Episode 4, how are there innies outside?
I'm in danger.
Oh boy, this is really bad. Cold Harbor, as appears in the finale, makes no sense. Oh my god.
No!
No sense? I could see people having some confusion, but no sense? Hey, it's Homer Simpson. Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Two Shot Factor. Severance finale. Comments. Reviewed. And we've seen these comments about this show Severance where people don't like it? Who are these people? Father, who are they?
I don't know, son. They're just not like us. They're different.
Like the people under the stairs. Look, I've got a tree. There it is. Tree. What is the Cold Harbor room? What is the testing on Gemma? People don't get what's the difference in this chip that Gemma has when they already have this chip that the severed employees use. The difference is there are all these multiple innies that have been exposed to pain, of course, from the dentist, overbearing husband making her write Christmas letters with her left hand, the airplane trip, the workouts. We don't know what is in the other rooms. We can only imagine. There's even been rumors of sexual abuse.
He's moved on. Maybe you've moved on too. In one of the rooms, what do you think? Do you feel yourself gravitating towards one room or another? Maybe you felt things behind those doors you never felt with Mark.
And finally, Cold Harbor. This is where Dr. Maurer finally isn't actually present, but you hear his voice. She's wearing the coat that she wore when she last seen Mark before she was abducted by Lumon. They are playing that song that's the unofficial Mark and Gemma theme. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more amazing content on Severance. And the crib, of course, of her unborn child. Lots of things like the pain of a dentist that are going to be different than the pain of loss. And that is why this is the final step, because this is something that can break through differently. And I think a lot of people aren't understanding, right? This is a different chip than the standard Severance chip. We already know things can bleed through. As you can see, before Miss Casey gets sent back to the testing floor, she has the wellness session with Mark, where he subconsciously recreates the tree where Gemma had died. As we know, the thing with the paintings with Irving, Miss Cobell never even knew about. She was surprised to learn about that, but we don't know anymore. Comments, we gotta get comments, Carlos.
Comments. All right, let's take a look at the comments. I'm watching the video. Okay, whatever. Let's take a look at the comments.
The only thing that is revealed by episode 6 is that the show creators had no idea where they were going with the show. After 4 episodes, I realized this season was a fail. But you didn't realize the show creators had no idea where they were going with this show until episode 6. So, how did Gemma end up at Lumon? I have no idea. She probably went into the Matrix. Why are the Egans so obsessed with the chip implant? Well, we can make trillions of dollars with this. Who cares? It's not that important. Who is this Bert guy? How does Lumon intend to capitalize on that? You've got the Severance chip that could eliminate pain in life. Whether or not the chips can make trillions, quite frankly, we don't want to know. We're happy selling crackers.
Do you want to say hi to any of your work friends?
Nah, I had the severance procedure done, so I wouldn't recognize any of these losers off the clock.
Innie Mark suddenly rebelling against his Audi just didn't feel right. Yeah, because they have so much in common. Mark has been established as a pretty decent guy, and to deny him that reunion with his wife in the name of some frivolous relationship with someone he doesn't even know if he can trust, and knows for sure how dangerous she is on the outside, I just don't get the decisions here.
We don't abide such fripperies here.
Because, of course, knowing that if you go out there, you could just die and erase your existence, that's totally not scary. Once again, another episode that does not explain and answer questions that the viewers are wondering.
The numbers are your wife. The building blocks of her mind.
Cobell, the inventor of Severance procedure, as well as the previous Severance floor manager, is literally there and can answer all the questions, but no.
No.
Nothing to her.
No, I don't believe you.
They're using you.
No, I don't believe you.
Honestly, she pretty much does answer all the questions as best as she can. MDR isn't creating rooms. They're creating innies. Mark is able to target parts of the brain, gemmas, that elicit certain emotions from experiences that they had. Those sections can then be severed off into their own innie. No questions answered because I have no idea what's happening. But I keep watching. We still know very little about Lumon. I don't think the writers even know. Yeah, we have no idea what they want. It's probably the Matrix. Keanu Reeves is somewhere. Then there's talk about how numbers determine Miss Casey's emotion. What? Is she a robot or something?
No!
Oh my god. What the heck are those sets of numbers?
No! No!
For instance, Miss Huang or Irving Bailiff leaving the city for undisclosed reasons. They're totally disclosed reasons. Obviously, Miss Huang got sent to northern Sweden because she broke her toy. Miss Huang's got to go up to Sweden to do her wintertide thing.
Today marks the end of your Wintertide Fellowship. Your bed will be moved from your parents' home to the Gunnel Egan Empathy Center in Svalbard, where you will work to steward global reforms.
And Irving just loves trains.
No!
And they gotta kill him, but obviously Christopher Walken, Bert, cut Irving some slack. Now Gemma's out, now her husband is in. Always the same story for 20 hours, round and round. The series was a masterpiece. What? But I give it a 1. I want answers. I want backstory. I want world building. Yeah, backstory, Gemma, world building, Miss Cobell. We're no further down the field than we were at the beginning of season 2. Yeah, because everyone knew what the numbers were, and they knew Gemma was perfectly alive and happy in the testing facility and what they were doing with all the rooms. Yeah, everyone knew that. This is the first time I've considered the idea that Miss Huang could be an adult mind in a child's body, and this makes the most sense. Yeah, she could be severed too. She could be using a consciousness from something that's been tested before. A pre-version of Gemma. It's bigger than we think. I suspect other characters like Miss Huang might also be the result of Cold Harbor's experiments. Lumon has probably been testing the process on multiple individuals, maybe even some severed employees we've already met. Hello, Gemma. It's me, Dr. Maurer. This person says Milchuk's a cartoonish joke? What? The guy's got 4 outies to feed. How dare you? I think I overestimated this show. What company would invest in a 100-piece marching band but not put a couple of security personnel on the testing floor during the most important test Lumon has ever performed? I just think they've been there a long time, and I don't mean 2 years for Mark. I'm talking many years. I mean, what was it, like 11 for Irving? And Bert was there, what he said, 12 years ago, or Lumon started 12 years ago, but Fields kind of cracked under the influence of wine. Expensive. I know where you live. 20 years. I mean, the chip wasn't there, but Lumon was there. I think early on, they probably had this sense of security for the testing because it was all experimental. And they realized that these people are going to behave like Boy Scouts, like good children. And they took that away, maybe. But there's more than we were really seeing. For example, in the finale, did you notice when the lights went on for the security? Milchuk just became possessed. He started looking around like he was just going in like Terminator mode. And he just bashed right through the door. And then when he jumps up, I think they initiated one of the protocols like Beehive or Elephant, because he had elephant strength or he was swarming like a bee. That's what they do. They can control you. That is their security. We don't know a lot about that. And that's another reason for season 3. I think there's so much they can explore with that. That technology, I believe, is one of the most cool parts of it. It may not be the most important, essential part, but it's cool. Here's an interesting thing. Dean Silverberg says, what if Cobell was lying to Mark about Gemma dying when Cold Harbor was completed and manipulated him into sabotaging the project? Cobell was mad, obviously, at Lumon for firing her. She gave her heart into this whole industry to be just let go like some piece of trash. We don't know what happens when the chip is taken out of Gemma. We assume she dies, but she'll be able to see the world again and the world will see her.
Oh.
He means the chip that they've created, the multiple consciousnesses. Now I'm wondering if this chip, obviously they're intending for mass production so they can make trillions. Maybe, is this chip something that just activates in all these situations, or is it at the user's discretion? They're like, okay, I don't mind airplanes, so cool, but dentist, bing, activate Severance. That's the beauty of this technology. Tired of that regular Severance chip where you just turn off to go to the severed floor? Introducing the Severance 2.0. Wow, what does it do? If you get on an airplane flight and you don't like it, you can just turn into your innie. Tired of having to play Monopoly with your stupid kid? Innie. Tired of that show Severance that you just hate but you have to keep watching for some reason? Warning, the Severance 2.0 chip may cause. Many people have compared it to AI, but it's not really. It's using actual intelligence, another kind of AI. I like this because it's like artificial intelligence, but actual intelligence impersonating AI. What a time to have that. What Lumon wants from Cold Harbor.
No!
They want the chip. How and why she's alive. I guess Gemma, like how is she alive? How is she not alive?
No!
Why would she disappear after the end of the project? Okay, that one I could understand, but they obviously want to kill her because she's actually being held captive. She's aware that she's in there as an outie. How gathering numbers makes it a new personality.
And back then, we were grateful for it.
That's dude.
Yes, very.
Which personality do they need? They need all of them.
Oh!
The numbers. The numbers? How do we not know what the numbers are? They specifically said in the last episode, and we basically knew anyway, it was these, as Ms. Cobell said, are the key into Gemma's mind. If you look at the rooms here in this picture, the 24 rooms before Cold Harbor, you don't see Tumwater, which was done by Dylan, and Irving had Montauk. Sienna is another room that was Helly's file. This is where the theory that there were other people being tested on. We're not sure. There's these other rooms for different people, and they weren't for her. They don't explain that. We just have theories. Mark does the files. He's got the severed chip in his mind, the technology. And see, there's the connection between Mark and Gemma. But this is kind of weird, because if Mark can connect to these rooms and he has subconscious knowledge of Gemma, see, this is what I thought. This is why Mark works best. This is why they got him, obviously. If Mark can create these rooms for Gemma, isn't technically this like a form of bleeding out? Like it's subconscious. But this is like the building of the tree. They didn't want... Yeah, that's right, because Miss Cobell was hoping that she was hoping that there was a way that they could... Because love transcends severance, right?
That's a question we needn't now ponder.
I mean, she made the Severance. So I wonder about that too. She made all the blueprints for it, but she didn't actually design the chip itself. What was in between that and the final stages? We got to learn about that. Like, I picture literally these companies in Tokyo, because no, it's not silly, because they have hundreds of other offices. And another thing, if they had Dr. Maurer dealing with Gemma for these couple years, they knew about her miscarriage, they knew about the dental problems, the Christmas cards. Why didn't they just make the rooms? Why did they need Mark? Obviously, because then they'd just be rooms. It's like going camping without beer. It's just hanging out in the woods. Look at this. Dylan G, Tumwater. I searched this. Jillian Tumwater, track and field, outdoor Tumwater 9th grade. I wonder if they found this and were like, yeah, no one will notice. Yeah, Dylan G, Tumwater, cool. I sincerely regret the time I have wasted to watch season 2. Sadly, the series follows the steps of Lost. Oh God, stop it with Lost. Lost was already 25 episodes deep at the end of season 1, and I'm pretty sure most people weren't getting on its case until at least season 3 or 4. We're only 19 episodes in here. Finally, we spend the better part of the finale watching Mark throw a tantrum with his innie about what to do after that pointless sequence. Pointless? This is awesome. We finally get Mark innie talking to Mark outie. Man, there was like probably a lot of people wanted that, and this was the part that we may not have known we needed. Absolutely. Yes, this was something kind of influenced even and to a degree like Total Recall. Howdy, stranger. It's me, Hauser. See you at the party, Quaid. On Helliar, the only thing she gets seriously upset about in season 2 is not being able to have sex with Mark.
No!
What the fuck? Where did the woman go who literally tried to hang herself in protest of workplace abuses?
I need to know what's going on. Like right now. I don't know, maybe the fact that Miss Casey's your outie's wife? What are we gonna do?
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble right now.
Okay, well, I don't give a shit about that, so I'll go get it. You said it's behind the poster of you actually being brave? Did everyone sever their balls in the elevator this morning? Where's Mark?
Excuse me.
Kinda like you and Cobell. Replace one part with another.
Leave it open.
What's with the watch changing? I know, right? Like, the numbers, didn't you realize that? So I posted that, and someone said, no, the watch changed the date on the first episode. You could see, yeah, because some crazy comic book guy found the number 4 representing the date. And at the end of the day, it had 5 on it. I'd say that's just literally a mistake that they didn't kept. But then again, why did they zoom in on it? You think they wouldn't have found it out with all that time they spent making this show? Maybe he stayed there 2 days. Maybe the whole process with bringing Kelly in, maybe there was a little more to it than we needed to know. Maybe they had to stay and work overtime. We need to know that in season 3, absolutely. And where the hell is June?
I love you, Lumon. It is never enough. I love you, Lumon.
I love you, Lumon. It is never enough.
June is like a key protester. We need Gabby and Senator Ortega back. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a marching band? Honestly, I thought that was a little too much, but then I'm like, yeah, but they celebrate things. When you complete files, marshmallows are for team players. Wouldn't it be cool if a wax statue of Kira did a tight 5? Wouldn't it be cool if Dylan is standing there with an army and red lights are flashing over? This is literally how decisions are made for season 2, style over substance. Imagine South Park did this. Let's say Randy is a fan and Sharon doesn't like it. Oh my God, Sharon, you don't get it. It's like symbolic. Oh my God. And Shelly, do you want to watch Severance with Daddy, Shelly? Shelly, come on, Shelly. I was on the fence for most of it, but it was quite a letdown. Sorry for losing all memory. Does not make you a completely different individual. Kind of does. It's in this. If your grandma, it totally does. They're like children that don't know so much of how the world works. They're put in this isolated situation that they can't leave out of the Lumon office. They think they can. Another thing, people saying, oh, the Orc Ball, that's when they went outside. It doesn't make sense. Why was there no cold breath? How could they stay overnight freezing? Because, of course, he said it was freezing. No, he never said it was freezing. People they miss so many subtle details. And I think that's one of the beauty parts of this show is that the creators have thrown this in to leave viewers to figure it out for themselves. They don't have like the studio laughter to let you know, oh, that's a funny joke. Like, Brian and that girlfriend in Family Guy.
Fine. But just tell me this, Brian. Does she laugh on her own, or does she laugh only when you laugh? I thought so.
Irving said, I could have frozen to death. He doesn't know, none of them know what cold feels like because they've been in a condition, this conditioned atmosphere their whole life. The innie life. If I stop blacking out drinking, does that mean the party boy dies?
What?
I'm told he's friendly. If your spouse doesn't remember you as kissing them, maybe. And actually that one I wouldn't mess with. It was so slow. You watch the season and barely anything happens. So you could make all in one episode and you wouldn't lose anything. No, you couldn't, trust me. Spoiler alert, no freaking resolution at the end of the season. Like barely any answers. Like I said, they kind of answered a lot about the Cold Harbor. They leave some things so they can go to season 3. That's what shows do. Oh man, go watch Black Mirror. What's up with all the Lumon guys speaking like weirdos? Yeah, because of course they spoke totally normal in season 1.
I might get passed over for Refiner of the Quarter and miss out on my goddamn waffle party.
Last time you saw Miss Cobell, she was in her old office. Now she's in her new office. It's a completely different office.
Petey is no longer with this company.
I'm sorry, Mark. You guys were one of my favorite office friendships.
As at this time, I confer upon you the freedom to serve here in the advanced role of Macrodata Refinement Department Chief. Oh, a handshake is available upon request.
You're not coming with me?
I'm not allowed to see.
Excuse me?
Well, once you leave, I just can't watch you leave.
They should understand that they can only exist on that floor. If they want a broader life, it means they have to leave the floor and venture into a larger physical space. However, they can only exist within that single floor. In this context, fighting against the Audis for more time to exist perfectly illustrates human selfishness. After all, only the Audi has the potential to expand the dimensions of life. The Innie is inherently doomed to impossibility. This brings forward a profound existential dilemma. What exactly are the Innies fighting for? If they succeed in exposing Lumon's inhumane practices and the severance procedure gets banned, their very existence would be erased. It's the Audis that are really fighting there, as they highlighted in the early part with Mark talking to Devin and Cobell, saying he doesn't want to die. Their struggle becomes a paradox. Are they fighting for liberation or merely for the continuation of their fleeting consciousness? The very act of rebelling against the system indirectly affirms the greatness of the severance procedure as it gave birth to their distinct personalities. The logical inconsistency undercuts the emotional weight of their resistance. I think this is great storytelling because now you've created something that if it were the other way around, it would be a lot more basic and boring. Gemma being rescued and frantically banging on the door, yelling for Mark to come out was also a bizarre scene. Yeah, my husband that I've been captured and isolated from for 2 years, I'm just gonna not do that. She left the Lumon building and returned to the real world, a reality that isn't just about Mark or their love. Her life outside is so much more. Mark would go home after work anyway, wouldn't he? Couldn't you just go back home, find Devin, or reconnect with other friends and colleagues? Wow. So yeah, whatever, I'll just go home and hang out with other friends. Just totally not get over the trauma that I've gone through. Remember the crib that you bought at Walmart. Was it truly necessary for Mark to emerge at that exact moment for her return to reality to have meaning?
What the hell is even that?
Any Mark's obsession with Helly is also an illusion. Helly is undoubtedly a creation of Helena, intentionally designed to oppose the company. Yet this introduces another contradiction. What is the ultimate goal of resisting Lumon?
He's got a point.
Is it to expose Lumon's inhumane practices and the cruelty of the Severance procedure? If the world learns the truth, the Severance procedure would surely get banned, and wouldn't that result in the Innies' disappearance? Here we are again. So what exactly are the Innies fighting for? Didn't we already go over this?
Push the little daisies and make them come up. Push the little daisies and make them come up.
These contradictions are what make the show feel logically inconsistent. No, they're what make the show great. I don't understand how people... Oh, wait a sec. Perhaps some might think my view on love is too cold. Nah. I don't know if that has to do with me being an infja. Oh god, what is that?
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Get off our property.
I've never understood why so many people seem to regard love as the most important thing in life, when for most, marriage is just about teaming up to get through daily life. That last sentence made it pretty clear what this person's problem is. Let's see if it gets worse before it gets better. In truth, every Audi and Innie and Severance is fundamentally unified. Yeah, that's what the reintegration thing is about.
And what is that smell?
Mark's selfishness for love is mirrored in his Audi, who turned to alcohol and lost his job because of grief over his late wife. Something I also don't quite understand.
I have no penis.
This is getting a lot more clear here. As I've said before, love is just one part of life. If you lose it, life goes on.
No penis.
This guy would really suck to have at your funeral. It's like, this is the kind of person, I think, that doesn't understand why everyone else doesn't think the way they do. And it's also strange that this person gave this a 7. He also goes on to say how bad the writing is, the part with Dylan and his wife. I mean, it's a fascinating idea, he says, but it seems like there's nothing but complaints in here. How the heck does he give it a 7?
Stupid.
Kudos to Apple TV for bamboozling people out of time and energy wasted on this.
You tricked me.
This person says he loved it completely until the last episode. One of my favorite shows of the 2020s. In fact, it's been one of my favorite shows of the past 10 years. The ending was completely unjust to the characters and made absolutely zero sense.
Oh.
I mean, what else could they have done? Now introducing the Severance mini chip. Sometimes you need to shut off for very small moments, like there's that guy at the party who has bad breath.
Oh, Mr. Garrison, help me. I do not know you, sir.
Season 1 had the benefit of the mysteries being new and interesting, but that wore off in Season 2. There's so many mysteries in Season 2, people complain about them being too much, but this person says they've been wearing off. Like, we know what's happening, even though people say we don't know what's happening. They were particularly annoyed at episodes 7 and 8, which were 2 backstory episodes in a row. Painfully slow again.
Comments. Hey you.
Takes way too long to answer any questions again.
I don't understand.
The numbers are your wife.
No, I don't believe you.
Season 2 has very odd characters. What happened to the days of old when a season was 20 episodes? Well, those days kind of left about 20 years ago.
Leave it to Beaver.
Hi, Wally. Hi, Eddie. Hi, Squirt.
Hi, Eddie.
Let's talk about the genius creative team behind this. The director, an absolute visionary, in the sense that only he could see where this mess was going, because the rest of us sure as hell didn't.
Ooh, my head's gonna be sore in the morning.
I like how this guy's thinking everyone else is on his same kind of thinking as that Infja guy. And this is a person that said, I could have stared at a blank wall for 9 hours and felt more fulfilled. This is a person who's literally watched Season 1 by the sounds of it, and still didn't like the finale there. Like all these people that just hate Season 2, but loved Season 1, especially the end of it. What a great show for nap time. So boring I fell asleep 3 times while watching the first season throughout the day. The first season. The episode where their mountain retreat is where I finally gave up out of frustration. I just can't wrap my head around the fact that someone could watch multiple episodes, let alone 9 of them, that they sit there and fall asleep from and have no interest in, and then 4 more. Who does this? Who keeps watching this if it's so bad? I guess that this seems to be more prevalent in Severance than anything. These shows, never before have I seen a show that people hate so much yet watch over and over again. I hate this show. When does season 3 start? This genre couldn't be more tailor-made for me, and even still, I can't compare this to any legitimately good shows. Anyone saying it's above a 6 has either never watched a TV show before, or they are getting paid by Ben Stiller. Trust me, I'm not getting paid by Ben Stiller, and I love the show. I'm not getting paid by anyone. I'm not even getting paid for this YouTube video. It's painfully slow, you don't like the characters, but yet you want it to have twice as many episodes. Why did Cobell run away in a parking lot? Obviously, she doesn't like guys with big ears. And what's with the Italian guy having to climb up a rope at this office? Like, that was the most important question. We need to know what this damn rope was. Loved the show until the final 5 minutes. Yet you hated Mark throwing a tantrum with his innie in the first 5 minutes. What's up with all the crazy stuff happening on the Severed floor? Yeah, because nothing happened crazy on the Severed floor through this series. Because I thought all the crazy stuff happened at the entrance in the lobby. That's where the party's going down. Season 2 is a case of the lost leading the blind. The lost being the show creators and writers. Chock full of filler and emotional cul-de-sacs. The energy, urgency, discovery, and sincerity of the first season is gone. There's way more well, there's more. There's more. Like, Mark is getting reintegration.
Who in the blue hell are you?
These are things that were just crazy. He didn't even want to hang out with PD at first. This cliffhanger obsession is really tacked and old-fashioned. You know what? There's been 10 hours that we know Gemma is his wife. Let them run away and call it a day, and the series is 9.2. They should have just done that right away. Just run away, happy ending, no challenges, no mystery, nothing. Done. Great idea. And that's another problem I have with people not liking all the continuous mystery. We built up to these cliffhangers in one form or another in virtually every show that there is. And a better way of looking at it is the internet. Just take Facebook, for example. Oh, another notification. I gotta check what that is. No matter what we're doing or where we are, most people are gonna pull their cell phone and go, oh, who's that? What's that? Oh my God, a notification on this Magic Star game or something. Oh, the Little Pony adventure. Great. Oh, I got a like on that. Amazing. In other words, it's all this endless, frivolous stuff that we invest so much time, yet in this show, there's a problem. If the mystery is unsolved. This is action-packed, but they didn't care for any of it. I've lost patience. We need, like, information. That's all this show, everyone else is accusing it of doing, is just sitting there plodding along. But this person hates the action in the finale. Officially severed from... Finally, how could the Severance remove all memories and yet the awakened subjects still know how to walk, talk, read, and write? Did I miss an explanation of this somewhere? Oh, you definitely did. So the scary numbers were used for doing those experiments on Gemma, and when Mark completes the refining process and fills all the virtual boxes, then they will kill Gemma? Huh? What? Why? There is no sense of logic here other than just to create false intrigue. Episode 4, how are their innies outside?
I'm in danger.
Oh boy, this is really bad.
This is the tallest waterfall on the planet.
At first I thought it must have just been a virtual reality in some room in that building, but no. They really were outside. No, they weren't outside.
Good morning, refiners.
The innies were outside. There's a reason they're called innies in the first place, right? Even if they did go outside, there's still the Glasgow block, which is explained in that episode. But perhaps the most unforgivable blunder, blah blah blah, after he sees Innie Helly in the hallway and decides to stay with her. Nothing wrong here on the surface. The Innie's heart wins, blah blah blah. Except that they spent quite a bit of time in the first season showing and proving that getting out through that door was impossible. Oh God, this is so bad. Innie Helly tried to do it several times in the first season, each time ending up on the same side of the hallway, inside. The Innies couldn't get to the stairwell. Do I really have to explain this? If you're watching this video, oh man. Watch episode 1 and 2 again, maybe. Try starting again. And not done yet. Episode 8 with Cobell going to some weird town, to some weird old woman's house. Just some weird old woman's house. No, she's not related. She's not her auntie. Some astonishingly weird things was just awful, and what was the point of it? She found something there that had something to do with Lumon and the whole Egan goat cult or whatever. Like, this person is literally not watching the show. They're just seeing some things and figuring that they're just gonna understand it. Like this internet life social status. I just ran over your grandma. Better see you at the hospital. No, I gotta leave. Come back. What is up with the 10-year-old girl manager?
Because of when I was born.
There's still more here. I am on season 2, episode 8, and still have no idea what this show is really about. See? And finally, what do we have here? Question. Parking space contains hundreds of cars, but employees may not meet outside of Lumon. How do they not meet with so many cars? Oh, bad.
Sorry.
This person isn't just struggling after watching the first episode, which it's already been explained in. They're already on the 4th episode of season 2.